Hey guys, my name is Antoinette Urquhart, and this channel you're on right now is Destiny Game. And I've talked before about mental health and things like that. Sorry if I am kind of rambling, but I couldn't sleep, and right now it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes, to start, when I can't sleep, it's when I have like racing thoughts, and I decide to take the camera out and just start recording and talking. So sorry if I'm rambling. But sometimes first of all, it's gonna be a really hard video, but sometimes I think that my situation is frustrating, having disabilities and stuff. I'm by no means complaining, because I know some people have it worse than I do. But sometimes it just gets frustrating, if that makes sense, and hard. But I know everything has a purpose and a reason. That's just what I believe. And our job here as human beings is to grow and expand, just to evolve. And if you're not growing, you are dying, I believe. And our spirit is like a muscle. You have to work at it and just always grow, basically. But right now I want to talk a little bit about mental health. I do have schizoaffective, which is like the affective part. That's like kind of like a bipolar part, where I've had like depression and mood swings and things like that at one point in my life. And the schizo part is like paranoia, and I've had hallucinations, both audio and visual. I've talked about it a little bit on the channel before. There was a time where things like that were just scary and like just really scary. I also have a learning disability, so all throughout school I hated it. I have a learning disability, and it's always been hard for me. When I was 10 years old in 5th grade, my teacher noticed, well, first of all, I was in a higher English class, but then the teacher took me out of it when she noticed I wasn't comprehending very well, and I was sent to special ed. Now, special ed wasn't that bad. I really enjoyed being in the class. But the thing is, when I was in there, I was bullied, and I was bullied horribly. Kids just made fun of me. And it was really hard. I remember many days just giving kids money, pencils, stealing money from my mom. I've never done that before, but I did it because I was just so afraid of what may happen to me, because kids just hit me. One time I was pushed to the ground and I broke my arm, and the kid who did it said that if I told anyone, that they would hurt me worse next time. And I just told no one, and I was bullied, and it sucked. And when I got to high school, I was still bullied. It wasn't to the point where I was, I guess, bullied every day, but I was bullied. And I remember many days going to the bathroom at school and just crying to the point where I can barely breathe. Many days going home and just vomiting, being so afraid of what may happen to me the next day at school when the kids were mean and that bullied me. I told my mom I made something to her the other night in my family that I never mentioned before to anyone, but when I was in high school, my sophomore year, these kids, let's just say, took me to a part of the high school, and they had like a lighter or some kind of burner or something like that, and they would burn my arm and my legs. Well, my leg rather. And they did it over and over again. And I would cry and they'd say, "Keep crying, you baby." And then once I said I would tell someone, they told me that if I were to tell anyone, that they would take my life. And I felt like nothing. I felt like nobody. I also had hallucinations that were horrible. Now my mom would never say this to me because she loves me and she's proven it my whole life. Actually, she still does prove it. But I would have hallucinations, and my aunt has always been there for me, and my grandma, who's now passed away. I don't know where I'd be without them. Every PPT meeting, every therapy session, they were just there. But anyways, sometimes the hallucination would be real, where like I would actually hear things, like family members telling me that they didn't love me anymore and I was nothing and I should just die. That no one would miss me if I was gone. Now, I know it's not true, but to me at the moment, it did seem true. The best way I can explain having any hallucination or mental health or paranoia, just mental health, it's like walking around with a smudge glass and you can't see. And you're just walking around and it's like it's dark. And as soon as you're a little better, where you're healed, the glass starts to get clear and you're able to see better, if that makes sense. And it was dark and foggy and just smudged for a long time for me. I was put on medication and different medication, like a lot of medication throughout my life. That's how I originally gained my weight, honestly. When I was 12 and I was put on medicine, that's another video. I can go into that video some other time. But anyways, I was bullied. And a couple times in gym class, these kids would throw basketballs in my face. And one time, my gym teacher went into the locker room and this girl threw this basketball in my face. And when she threw it, she hit my face. She almost broke my nose, was bleeding. She apologized in front of the teacher and made it like she was really sorry, but she wasn't. She did it purposely. And my nose was bleeding and I was just really hurt. I felt like nothing. She and my other classmates just laughed at me and made fun of me. It was horrible. And I would never wish it on my worst enemy. I just wouldn't wish it on anyone to be bullied. But I do know now that chances are bullies that bully people are just as afraid, if not, it says more about the bully, and it says nothing about you if you're ever bullied. And for a long time, I struggled with raising my hand in class because I was afraid of being judged. Now I know that very kid who teases you because you're raising your hand, guess what? They're probably the same kid that needs help too. They just don't have the courage to raise their hand and speak up for having a challenge or having a difficult time understanding something. So they laugh at you when you do it. I also had like really bad anxiety. Well, I didn't know it at the time, but like I would get shaky and it would feel as if like I couldn't breathe and just I get nauseous and everything just be black, it felt like. And it just felt like I couldn't breathe. I used to skip a lot of classes in high school and then I'd run away from the teacher. But as soon as I run away, I say to myself, you know, what are you doing? You're being ridiculous. Grow up, be mature, go back to class. But then when I got ready to go back to class, honestly, I was so afraid of drawing attention to myself. But I had an amazing teacher my sophomore and my junior year. She was my science teacher, and she looked out for me every day. She was just amazing. She was like a super teacher. Honestly, she was my favorite teacher. Not only was she a good teacher, but she was also very cool to be for a teacher. And she didn't have a special education teacher in her room. So she really worked hard at what she did to really help me. And she even taught me how to use flashcards, which even today in my coaching program I still use. So I thank her for that. Also, I had depression, and I was a cutter. And this is really the hard part for me to talk about. But when I was 12 years old, my dad really stopped coming in my life, and I became a cutter, and I was suicidal. I just thought I was nothing. Like I should just die. But I know now that life is worth it, and to be suicidal, it's selfish because it only hurts people who you love most. Because honestly, when you're suicidal and you commit suicide, honestly, in my opinion now, you're gone. But the people you leave behind who love you and care the most about you are the ones who are struggling and the ones that never get over it. I feel. So it is hard. And voices would, sometimes hallucinations, I'm back to hallucinations, but it would feel like it's real, but it's not. It's amazing the way your mind would play tricks on me all the time. And when I was a kid, honestly, I had a lot of anger problems. And I punched the refrigerator and glass. And I broke my arm, just being honest. My hand, rather, sorry. Just being honest. And I also used to be a cutter, a self-harmer. I'm not really proud of the fact of being suicidal or being a self-harmer. It's pretty embarrassing. It was a point in my life that I just did, but I'm no longer that way. Also, I have seasonal affective disorder as well. And it is a lot better than it used to be. But once in a while, when the wintertime comes around and fall, it does still come to when I have problems. It still comes to, I still have the problem once in a while. Sorry. But it's a lot better than it used to. I don't really have the problem anymore. Although once in a while, I have triggers. But the anxiety is still there. It's not as bad as it used to be. But I still have anxiety. No more hallucinations. But I am going to write medicine now. Medicine has saved my life. I have an amazing therapist and an amazing doctor. And what I really like most about my doctor and my therapist are they believe in giving me medication to really help me. But at the same time, they don't want me to lose my personality where I can still express myself. I'm still able to not be like a zombie. But it really helps me. A lot of people look at me and the way I walk around, the way I talk, and just everything, that I have no problems. And I know everyone has problems, but I really do have a mental health problem. But a lot of people look at me and they don't see it. But I do. Also, I have a learning disability. And in school, like I said, even though my coaching program, I'm a lot better now, but I still have a lot of comprehension, and it's gotten a lot better, to be honest, but it's still there. And to be honest, I think that it always will be, but I've learned to cope with it a little better now than I used to. But honestly, I still get frustrated, but I think that's just life. And this is the embarrassing part as well. My senior year of high school, I went back to being a child mentally in my mind, and it's just embarrassing, but I want to be honest and talk to others. I turn into my younger self and a younger version of myself, and I did children things, like I wet my pants and I did certain things, and I don't know why it's embarrassing to talk about, but it happened. And one time when I was in the room with my therapist, I when we talked about my dad, she said that I kind of flashed back, and I saw like it was there was no snow, but in my vision when I was talking about him, I started seeing things, and I kind of flashed back to being a little girl where I just felt safer, I guess, or not safer, but more better when he was in my life. And it just hurts to talk about now. It hurts that he's not in my life, and it hurts. And he does call me, like on my birthday, he did call, but he always says he's going to be there and he'll talk to me. But then when I'm on the phone, he just sometimes rushes me off, and it hurts. And, but I have, grown over that. And I just figured that I have to move on my life. And although things are hard, I just have to understand that life goes on. I don't know why I had the little version of myself, but it's like sometimes when you're in so much pain from things, and I guess it's hard to really talk about. I get like this, when I talk about it, it just hurts. I can't explain it. But, yeah, it's not fun. But I do thank God I had my mom, Patricia Urquhart, my aunt, Rosie Urquhart, and my grandmother, who's now passed away, Rosie L. Urquhart. I don't know, honestly, where I'd be without the three of them that were in my life. Well, my mom and I are still in my life. They're amazing. Their support, they're there. And my grandmother was until the day she died. She was always there for me, every step of the way. But I just wanted to, I guess, talk a little with you guys, a little bit, about my history and stuff like that, and my school life, and just where I've come from, and how far I've come. Now, I'm not saying that I'm the worst person out there who's ever experiencing, because I'm not. There are people out there, to be honest, that have even more difficulties than me. I'm just sharing my story. But like I said, I know that everything has a reason and a purpose for everything. And just everything has a reason and a purpose. And I'm grateful. Now, actually, I do gratitude quotes. I like taking them off Pinterest. And I basically just do gratitude quotes or mindset. Because I do know now that your mindset controls everything. And what you feel is what will happen. It's just what you feel. You could change a bad day into something positive. You just show gratitude and stay positive. The key is just gratitude. And that really honestly helps me in affirmations and doing things of that nature. And just staying positive and not negative. Just pushing and not giving up. As my grandma always taught me, don't give up. Just keep the faith when those things get hard, because things will get better. And honestly, that's why I think that I'm able to be as compassionate and open and have sympathy for others and there for others, because I've gone through things myself. And I'm not perfect, I never will be. But I never judge anyone or anything, because I don't know who they are or what they've gone through. And although I can't relate to others sometimes, like certain things others may go through, but I do know at the end of the day, we're all humans, and whatever someone's going through, I've gone through something too. And whatever they're feeling, sometimes, I know this may sound a little insane, but I can feel it too, if that makes sense. Like, even if I can't feel it, I can have sympathy for them. And I just try to love and respect everyone. So that's it, enough rambling and stuff now. Sorry, but I'm just a little tired. Like I said, I haven't slept. But once again, this is Antoinette Urquhart, and this channel is Destiny Game. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you never miss another video from me when it comes out. Thank you, and have a great day or night wherever you live. Thank you for watching, and take care, and see you in the next video. Thank you.